What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us on the second episode of the podcast that we still do not have a name for. My name is Emmauel and Anthony, and I am joined by.
Emmanuel, joined by co-host Emmanuel. Hey guys,
Yeah.
TGIF. How's this week like, Onya?
Yeah, my week has been good. Work has been fine. I made a minor upgrade on my computer, which seems to be working out well. So my week has been good
Tell us about
generally.
that.
Yeah.
What updates did you make on your computer?
It was a RAM upgrade. So my computer originally came with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I upgraded it to 32 to hopefully for it to work faster. So it seems to be working out well. Good investments, kind of expensive, but yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? What have you been up to all week?
Work. Apart from work, nothing else. We've been working on some interesting stuff at work. So,
Is it
nothing
like
fancy.
stuff you cannot disclose, like confidential stuff?
Exactly. There are a lot of NDAs. So
That kind of
talk about
stuff.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get fired now. I still need some cash.
Yeah. Okay, so on the second episode we're going to be talking about traveling as a Nigerian, experiences with visas, what we've seen online with Nigerians, like those who travel, their experiences going to different countries, and how the visa process has been. I haven't traveled much in my life. I think I've gone to one country, and I was very little, so I don't really know anything about the visa application process. But Emmanuel has been applying
Emmanuel
for
has not
visas.
traveled before. Let's put that. Emmanuel has only traveled once, and that was when he was very small, and
I mean
it was
that's
just to Port Novo.
it's the same thing as me. But recently you've been doing a lot of visa applications, so maybe you can like tell us about that.
Recently, I've done a lot of failed visa applications. Let's put that in. Over the course of over the last 2 years, I've applied to, let's say, applied for three or four visas, and they've been pretty bad. I tried applying to the Netherlands sometime last year, didn't work out. I tried applying to get the visa to go to Colombia, it didn't work out. I tried applying to go to Malta as a digital nomad, didn't work out. Currently on one application. I think, when you start applying for all these things and you get these rejection letters and reason why it didn't work out, you begin to hear this phrase that when you start your application, you keep it to yourself. You don't tell anybody until until it works. Then you don't tell people. I don't believe it, but I'm keeping this one to myself. Only people who are close to me.
Yeah, it's like the superstitious side of Nigerians.
Yeah. So yeah, currently it's ongoing. So far so good. I'm working with the government approved agency to process my papers. The reason I would say so far is that it's been pretty slow, because from what I gathered online, it's meant to be for 2-3 weeks. It's meant to be done, but now it's been over a month. I applied during Easter. It's been over a month now, and everything's pretty slow.
Yeah, it seems to me that Nigerians have like a different experience when it comes to traveling, especially outside the country, far away places.
Yeah.
Everyone, the destination places really like North America, Europe. We always have like a very different experience with the way we are treated, if we actually get the visa, and also with the visa application process, things like that. It's I don't know if they've given you reasons about your past visa rejections, and if that has like come into play in the one you're applying now.
Yeah. The first visa I applied for, which was Netherlands. The reason why it was denied was because apparently the reasons why I'm going, I didn't really state there. So I mean, I was going for a company reunion, and you know, I didn't exactly give them more proof that I was going there. So basically, if you're applying for visas, be as Nigerian or as any green passport holder, you need to like give them enough information, give them enough proof that when you go to their country, you're going to come back. So if they don't get the sense that you come back, there's a very high chance that they'll deny your visa.
Oh, so it was like a situation where you were going to, they thought you might go to the country and like completely vanish.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, but that's like my point with these kind of things, because you mentioned while you were talking about like a green passport holder, I recently found out that the colors on the passport don't even like make a difference. It doesn't really indicate how powerful your passport is. It's basically countries pick colors of their passports based on the union they're part of, or like countries around them. So you'd notice a lot of European countries have the color red or like burgundy-ish on their passports. A lot of African countries are like green. Not just African countries, there are Middle Eastern countries too. So like Saudi Arabia, I think it's a green passport. There are countries that have black as the color of their passport. So the colors don't really make a difference. But like my point is, why is it, even though I think we all kind of like know the reason, but there's a sort of like bias towards Africans traveling to Europe, where they're like, okay, you guys might disappear when you get here, but they're not, the people from North America, people from maybe Asia, certain countries in Asia, aren't really giving that. They're always giving the benefit of the doubt that they're going to go back to their country.
yeah. I mean, people from Europe or like other countries, they don't. I don't think they go through the process that we go through, like the amount of documents that we have to submit, the properly detailed bank statements that we have to give. I recently learned that if you want to send your bank statement, make sure that the description, when you send money from bank to bank, there's this description field. Make sure that you fill it up properly. Make sure that it's been like every money you put into your account is well detailed. All this extra step. Like, I mean, I want to send money to my account. I don't want to start typing, this is money for food, this is money for house rent. I mean, why should I do all that just for me to travel? But it's probably the rate at which the rate at which people travel out of Nigeria. It's very alarming. And two, immigration. So probably countries don't want a lot of people coming into the country and like living in the country. Ideally you should come, spend some time, leave. But even if an average Nigerian leaves Nigeria, I don't think the person is coming back to Nigeria.
Yeah, most Nigerians don't travel for recreation, I think, and in like my experience, a lot of us travel for work or moving sake. We don't really like travel for recreation, and we have like travel influencers, very like popular travel influencers, but that too is like for work. So yeah. I think we sort of all know the reason why these things happen, and it's not necessarily just for just Nigerians. I think Indians have the same issue. Some Middle Eastern countries also have the same issue too. So we kind of all know the reason why it's like this.
What do you think the reason is?
I think I would say it's first of all, like the way there's all a tendency for Nigerians to travel and sort of overstay the period that they're supposed to be in. Then the authorities in the country start to look for them because they don't want to come back here because of this, like the situation of the country. Everyone sort of believes there's no opportunities here. There are better opportunities out there, better opportunities in Europe, better opportunities in North America, Canada, America, these places. I mean, which they're not wrong, but it's also because of how much it will cost for someone to go from Nigeria to the United Kingdom or go from Nigeria to stay in the US. It's a lot of money. So it's like, okay, I'm here. How do I stay here? Whether it's like legal or not.
I mean, and also if you take a look at another legal way to leave Nigeria is through education. Education is like somehow it's kind of like the easiest way to leave Nigeria.
Yeah, it is, but it's also very expensive. Very expensive.
Not really. I mean, except you want to pay for your education, there are a lot of people out there who've left the country and taken their family out of Nigeria through scholarships or
Yeah, but I mean, scholarships
cheaper
are
programs.
scholarships are not going to be scholarships if they are not. They are meant for like a select few. Of the application, your like results need to be up to the standard. Then you then kind of like are in a situation where, okay, I hope they pick me for like the thing. Scholarships are not like for the I stand to be corrected, but I don't think scholarships are like for the
I don't
wider
think so.
audience.
I mean, of course, not for the wider audience, yes, but it's not like it's for people who are like determined. So, say, okay, number one, you're smart, fine, you have a good grade. Doesn't mean that you're part of scholarship, you get a scholarship. There are other things that like come to play in applying for scholarships. Like from what I've seen, like what activities do you do? Say you want to apply for a scholarship in data science or biology or something. Have you written any biological papers? Have you written any research papers? There are people out there who have HNDs and like they have like fully sponsored scholarship and they're like doing their PhDs now from based on, and it's a numbers game too. So the fact that you apply for like looking for jobs, basically you don't just apply for one and you sit down. You apply for like hundreds, and out of the hundreds, maybe like one picks you. So it's the same way scholarships are. You just apply for a number of scholarships, like and like sending good applications. Then hopefully you get one. But yeah, I agree with you. It's not the easiest. I mean, in terms of Nigerian eye, it's the easiest because you are not
many other options.
If you get the scholarship, there's a very high chance that you get the student visa. But if you apply for a tourist visa, there's a very high chance that I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough proof. I don't have enough proof of home ties. I won't get it. I won't get the visa.
You said something there about like the requirements for the scholarship, and one of the things you said, the activities you do outside of like extracurricular activities, basically outside of what you're applying for. And it reminded me of a video I saw during the week about someone talking about how him and his friends were applying for schools in America, and in the application, the form that you were supposed to fill for the application, they talked about like extracurricular activities. And imagine someone who went to secondary school in a regular Nigerian secondary school, there are no extracurricular activities. Is wake up, go to school,
Read your
come
book.
back, eat,
Yeah.
sleep, and go back to school.
Yeah.
Basically, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
it was something I remember that was like when you're out coming out from a regular Nigerian university and you want to apply for schools abroad and they ask you for extracurricular activities, it might be difficult for someone to like figure out, okay, what do I put on this application that kind of sounds nice on the air, because
yeah.
we don't take extracurricular seriously in this country.
Yeah, it's more like read your book, pass your exam, do you get an A, do you get a B, like that's all.
Yeah,
So
basically.
I mean, we don't. It's not like in the US where if you play football very good, there's a chance I get a scholarship, to university.
To university, yeah.
That's not
It's
something that's common. I think the only kind of extracurricular activity that one that didn't really get one during secondary school or university days can do is volunteering. So you volunteer in some organizations, or like TEDx. You know TEDx.
yeah,
All those,
yeah.
yeah, like you volunteer in those kind of activities. Share some things on LinkedIn, build a small profile, and yeah, that could serve as extracurricular activities.
I think one has to be very proactive with this type of things, especially
Exactly.
when you don't have a lot of resources. Like if you don't have a lot of money, it's easy when your parents have money to like spend on school fees, visa applications and stuff. But especially when like money is tight, you need to like be proactive. You need to kind of like plan ahead by a few years to be like,
Yeah.
okay, in 5 years I would be applying to schools in the UK, I'll be applying to schools in the US. These are the things I need to put in place to be able to make the process as seamless as possible when the time comes.
I'd say 5 years is actually too much. A year is fine, but yeah.
I say 5 years because say you're in secondary school and you plan on going to university abroad, you don't have like the money at the moment. So with what you talked about, like
Yeah.
with the volunteering, you might be able to like volunteer for a full year and that would work. But I feel like it would be you'd have like a better chance if you have, first of all, volunteered at different places, not just like one singular place. Your application sort of like looks a bit better. Say you've volunteered at so many different places, you have done this amount of extracurricular activities relevant to whatever thing that you're applying for.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it kind of like leads us into what's our plans, because with the travel thing, I feel like we've been planning together for a lot of it like recently. So
I mean, we've been talking about travel since when we were in 200 level,
yeah,
300 level.
I think yeah.
I remember there was this day you told me that you wanted to go to is it Denmark? I think it was Denmark. For people who don't know, Anya Anthony in his previous life was a freestyle footballer and he was the best in Nigeria at some point. So
I mean, I wouldn't say I was the best, but yeah, go ahead.
there was a time he wanted to go for one tournament or something. I think an open competition in Denmark. So
Yeah, okay, yeah. It was actually in the Czech Republic. It's an open competition in Prague, Czech Republic.
Yeah, exactly, Prague. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, then I found out about some apps like Kayak, Skyscanner. Was looking at, hey, if I have this amount of money, where can I go to? I was seeing a flight to Rome that was around was it not 200 euros from Nigeria then. I'm like, really?
Wow.
Maybe I can go to Rome. But now I want to go to Rome. $200. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of our travel plans,
Yeah, I think
how do you
like I
describe
think
that?
the best way to explain it is we are sort of like trying to prepare for bigger things. So we want to it because I don't think any of us like want to go the school route, even though it's not completely off the table. It's not completely off the table for me, like personally. Also don't think it's like completely off the table for you, but I
No.
think what we're essentially doing is like preparing for like bigger things. So starting small, going to nearby countries, going to cheap countries, closer countries,
Yeah.
countries where you may not need a visa, where the visa application isn't as tedious or prone to rejection as like bigger
Yeah.
places. Build up a bit of travel history, then with that like start to apply for the nicer places in air quotes. I mean, nicer is subjective,
Yeah.
but yeah, nicer places.
Nice in the nicer countries. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a good time to talk about our $100 challenge. Okay, so one thing about me, I like to plan. So there's this quote by Robert Polsky that I like, something about how to define dopamine. So dopamine says dopamine is not the happiness of pursuit, it's the pursuit. It's not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of pursuit. So basically, it's not the end goal, but it's the process leading to the end goal.
Yeah.
So this challenge, this $100 challenge, is something that I see a lot of YouTubers, travel content creators. They do this challenge like, hey, what can $10 get you in this country? But I mean, I want to take it up to like the next level and like go. I have $100. I want to travel from Lagos to Port Novo and spend a few days and
Oh,
come
I mean,
back.
where is Port Novo for the uninitiated amongst us?
So Port Novo is the capital of Benin Republic. Benin Republic is a neighbor country
Yeah.
to Nigeria. The border is along. It borders the states of Lagos and Ogun State. So that's to the west of Nigeria. So in the near future, in a few weeks time or so, Anthony and I will embark on this very courageous journey.
Why are you trying to make it sound so dramatic? We are going to.
It has to be dramatic. I mean, when we go and come back, it will probably be a 20-30 minutes episode just to detail all what we went through. Because I really want some activities that will do that like we would regret. I don't want activities that's dealing with police or law. I don't like those guys, but I'm sure that I would encounter them on our way. I want activities like us getting lost and cannot ask for help because people are speaking French and we don't know how to speak French. Like, I want that kind of thing.
That sounds a bit dangerous. Don't you think?
I think it's fun. You'll be surprised how people want to help you out, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And speaking of dangerous, if you check out Drubinski's channel, Drubinski is a travel content creator. Right now, he has traveled to every country in the world now.
Wow.
Check out his channel. He talked
Including
about-
North Korea.
Yeah, even North Korea, including Papua New Guinea. Do you know there's this tribe that people cannot. This tribe that got contacted a few years ago. I think 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the first time they made contact with. He has been
Other
there.
humans. That's insane.
He documented them like crazy. So back to this channel, and he posted a video talking about his near-death experience. So he traveled to Haiti. You know what's happening in Haiti currently now. The gangsters are running the country. He traveled there, and like what he experienced there, he said he's not going back to Haiti until things get better. He has nearly escaped terrorist attacks in some countries in the Middle East, like Yemen, Syria, and also when he went to Chad, people there almost killed him.
That's I
He
think
said that place is
I've seen a few of his videos. One of like the videos I saw was a short where he listed out I think the top 5 worst or top 10. It was either top 5 or top 10 worst countries he has been to, and there are a lot of
Yeah.
like very sketchy things he encountered in some of these countries. There were countries where
Yeah.
he was like they were all being rude and nobody was like being helpful and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, somehow maybe it's the citizens' fault. Sometimes you can't blame citizens because they're already going through a lot. So you don't
Yeah.
expect them to start treating you nicely. Like they're already going through a lot. So
Yeah, I think another thing, especially in this part of the world, when people see like a foreigner, there's like it's as if you have dollar signs on your head. I mean, you kind of literally
Yeah.
and figuratively do, but it's just as if you have dollar signs on your head, like your mobile money, basically.
yeah, like you're working ATM,
Yeah.
and like they just always want their money from you.
I think
I mean, you'd be
it's
surprised that
yeah.
a lot of them don't have a lot of money like as you think they have.
Yeah, but I think it happens in a lot of places because last year I was doing a bit of research on what it's like living in the Czech Republic as like someone who just like a tourist or someone who just got there, and I also saw a lot of videos about people getting scammed at very popular tourist destinations, like tourist spots in the popular cities. People were getting scammed. So I don't think it's like an African thing or it's something that just happens in this part of the world. I just think it's when people see someone who isn't familiar with the surroundings, it's like, okay, you're a prime target to get extorted, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it happens everywhere, but it's more common in places where the in places what's the proper word, um you know, lower than average or average income level
Yeah.
areas.
But
And then
yeah,
also in the US, there are a lot of tourist traps, so it happens
yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, oh yeah. I think I agree. I haven't seen a lot of people. People don't usually go to the US. I don't think. I mean, if you're talking about like
People
travel
do.
destinations, travel like
Probably.
destinations, tourist travel destinations.
Okay, people outside the US, fine. But like people in the US travel within the US because the US is so big.
Yeah.
But like people outside the US, and also US is not as easy to go in like other countries.
Yeah.
Like if
Now
you
I'm
have a
thinking.
weak passport.
Now I'm thinking about it. I think for people from outside the US, New York is a very popular travel destination. Everyone wants to go to Times Square, things like that. I think
Yeah,
LA, the Hollywood sign is also a huge. Now I think
yeah,
about it, people actually do go to the US.
yeah.
But yeah, we are planning on doing the Port Novo trip. Hoping and praying it goes well. The situation here, it's going to cost. I hope it doesn't like cost so much because we're already like, yeah, it's $100, and it seems like
Yeah.
to get out of Nigeria would cost half of the $100 to actually even leave the country because of like the situation. For anyone who doesn't know, there's fuel scarcity in air quotes. I think it's artificial, but
Currently.
we are not going to get into that now. But yeah, it's very expensive to move around now because of the fuel scarcity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I read the blog a few days ago about someone who went to Benin Republic, but that was like the blog was, I think, 3 years old or 4 years old. So let's not take any of the financial information accurate
Yeah.
anymore. But
Things
she said she paid
things have
about,
probably changed.
yeah, probably double or tripled in amount. Said she paid about 5,000 cefas a night per person in the small hostel she stayed. So so even if so yeah, should be able to do it. As we're traveling, we should just like have a record where we just keep
Yeah, take
the
down. I think
log of the information and
yeah,
everything.
I think it would be very useful to like put down the information as to what's like was spent, document it, document every aspect of the trip would help
Yeah.
others who are
Yeah.
wanting to like the same in the future.
In terms of the routes, how we are going to travel, a lot of the things are like not decided upon yet, because I just know how we get to the border, but after that I don't know anything else. So everything I will need to know, we'll figure it out as we go.
When
I just
when
have
we
some
get there.
information about like, because I was worried about, when you get to the border there, I've been there before, so when you get there, some guys will come and meet you and be like, I can take you across the border on my bike, but they don't pass the official route, they don't follow the border itself, they go through bush paths and like illegal ways. So like I've been trying to read up on that so that we don't end up having issues.
Following
But, yeah,
some unscrupulous
I don't want that kind of
individuals.
I don't want that kind of experience right now.
Yeah, I think
want to avoid that too.
we for at least as first timers, we do everything by the books. Try to be
Yeah,
respectful of their rules and stuff, so we
yeah,
we don't get into too much trouble.
yeah, and learn some French also. So
Yeah, I think that is one thing. Well, I think it's starting to change slowly because of the people making videos on YouTube that I've seen recently. But Africa is one place where it hasn't really been documented like based off of travel. Because I can go on YouTube and be
Yeah.
like traveling to New York, do's and don'ts, things like that,
yeah, you
and
see
get
you
a
see
lot of
videos.
information, but it's not the same for Africa. There are like places that have very popular tourist attractions: Morocco, Egypt, South Africa. These places you would find a lot of information online if you want to go to these places, but the rest of the continent is still under like a veil almost. Benin Republic isn't far from Nigeria. It's literally on the border. We share a border with them, but there's little to no information as to going there and
Yeah.
what it would
People
take.
don't
which
really
is-
talk. They don't talk so much about. Hey, these are the fun things to do in Benin Republic. You just see like the ugly side of it. You don't see so much.
yeah,
so much fun
negative press sells a lot
Yeah.
more than
I mean,
like
I
positive.
heard that it's the cleanest city or the cleanest country in West Africa.
I've never heard of that.
But
That's very nice.
if you check out one of Tayo Aino's video, he mentioned that it's the cleanest one of the cleanest countries in Western Africa, not the whole of Africa, but just the western part. Because Nigeria can never be on top of that list. Nigeria is
Wow.
should be,
Wow.
should be at the bottom. I mean, just go for a drive on the island, on the mainland, and you will understand what I'm talking about. That. So
I mean, there are other cities in Nigeria. Lagos isn't like the only the 30, 35
go to
other
Imo.
places.
Go apart from Abuja, that I cannot keep me. Abuja is a clean city. Go to other parts of the country.
Yeah,
and see.
I watched a video there's this channel I watch that the guy has been talking about countries of the world, like information about countries, origins, heritage, the
Yeah.
people, language. The name of the
Geography
channel
now.
is Geography Now. He did an episode about the 36 states in Nigeria, and I can't
Wow.
remember the states. I think it was Akwa Ibom, but he mentioned that it's like the cleanest state in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So
Akwa
there are
Ibom is
clean
cool.
places. Have some faith. They are clean places.
Yeah, they're not so much. But Akwa Ibom is a very fine place. I've been there once, but like when I went there, I didn't really explore.
Yeah.
I didn't stay too much in Uyo. I was mostly in the town called Eket.
I
And I spent a day there or 2 days, and I left.
traveling
But yeah,
traveling. Yeah, go ahead.
Aqua Ibom is somewhere I want to visit. Like I want to go there again. Like I actually had plans to go this year, but cost of traveling now is just expensive. One.
Yeah, it's really expensive to even move around inside the country.
Yeah.
I was going to say
So I just pushed
I've
it.
never really gone anywhere in Nigeria. I've been to the state I'm from, Imo State, been to Abuja because we used to stay in Abuja. Then I have family in Lagos. That's the only reason I've been to Lagos. I think the only other places where I did my NYSC camp, well, I just went straight to the camp. So I don't think that even counts.
Wow, I've been to quite a number of states. Like in the southwest here, I've obviously Lagos. I've been to Ogun State. I've been to Ondo. I stayed in Akure for a few weeks. I've been to Oyo. I've been to Ibadan. Ibadan is capital of Oyo, so I've spent some time in Ibadan. I haven't been I've passed by Oshun, but I can never live there. I never stayed there forever, so I won't count that. I've been to Abuja. Abuja is the most northern state I've ever been to, so I do want to explore the north, but not now. Maybe Kano or Kaduna sometime later. Down in the south, I mean, I don't want to count Benin. I've spent some time there, but like I've not stayed up to a day, so will I count that? Maybe it's not counted. Also Delta too. I've been to Anambra. I've been to Imo. I've been to Abia. I've been to Enugu. I've been to Port Harcourt. I've been to Akwa Ibom.
That is a lot of places. That is quite a lot of places.
That's a lot. Do you know in Enugu, that Enugu is a very weird place. Like it's too big.
To me, Enugu like, doesn't really exist. I know people from Enugu.
Enugu is too big.
One of my roommates back in school is from Enugu. Or not like he's from Enugu. He lives in Enugu. His family lives in Enugu. Enugu in my head doesn't really exist because I can't even like fathom how it would look. The only Igbo state, the only state in the southeast that I can really picture is Abia State. I think Abia State is the state that has Onitsha. I'm about to look very stupid.
No,
that is wrong.
That's Anambra.
Anambra.
Oh
okay, so but like Anambra State is like the only state that can really be like, okay, yeah, Anambra actually exists. Every other state is like, this place is even real.
Wow. You need to travel.
Yeah, I do. But the thing is, the thing I would say is traveling in Nigeria now is something which wasn't the case before. I feel like it's something that is reserved for people who are well off at this point. Like, reasonably well, of course. The other options that people have is like road travel, and road travel is unnecessarily
Yeah, it's not
dangerous in
safe.
this country.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like really unnecessarily dangerous. Besides the like issue of kidnapping and like road robberies and things like that, the roads are horrifically bad. Like
yeah,
I can say for Imo State where I stayed for a long time, the roads are like very very bad. The last time I came to Lagos by road was I think in 2019, and it was Benin City we went through, and it was there's like a running joke that the roads there are stupidly bad. So it it's just unnecessarily dangerous, and it's always a situation. I feel like it's a situation where you don't have a choice, so you have to go by road. So but if
yeah,
it's not really important for you to travel, you kind of like just sit home. But I think we need to somehow revive. I think we need to somehow like revive road travel in this country.
yeah, yeah. There, there needs to be always like to fix up the road one, because traveling by air is actually really expensive, and our train network is not even good enough to um cover the whole state. It's just covering mostly southwest and north,
Yeah, I think
I
it's
guess.
Port Harcourt
I don't think
is
it's covering
might be
anywhere
the
in the
only city
east.
has
I'm
like a
wrong.
real railway service in the southeast. I think most of the railway services are places in the north and in the southwest. Doesn't really go into the east.
All right, so we've spoken about a lot, about travel struggles, travel ambitions, and travel plans. Are there any other travel plans that we are looking at
Yeah, I
in
think
the near future?
besides Benin Republic, we plan to go to two other, maybe two. So like we are trying to keep our options open, but two southern African countries are like in the cards. But we are trying to like start small, go to places we don't need a visa for, or places where getting visas isn't a hassle. Is like something we kind of both realized, like beside instead of gunning for these very nice places that it would be difficult to get the visas for, you make it like a long term thing and spread it out, try to build up to these places. All right, thank you very much for watching the second episode. We're still trying to figure this whole thing out, so we appreciate you guys that are tuning in for the first time, second time. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next episode.